We have with us China's most celebrated filmmaker, Mr. Wong Kar Wai. Sir, welcome to DD News. Sir, China was the focus country of this film event.
Yes.
And the best of Chinese cinema was shown during the event. How do you see this is going to boost the film industry and the filmmakers of both the countries?
I think there's a lot of things in common between India and China, and I think over the years there's haven't been enough communications between these two communities, and I think with a festival like the Goa Film Festivals, and also I think there will be more and more interactions between these two countries, especially the filmmakers.
China is a big market. The economy is growing enormously. But do you think that growth in economy, the economic growth, hasn't reflected that proportionately in the film industry?
Actually, when you look at the results in the market, it's going into that directions. But of course, when we look at the history of the new Chinese cinemas in the last 20 years, still they are searching their directions, because used to be China make films for ideas and for promoting the ideas of the governments, but today it's more market driven, and I think we can see there's many things could be addressed in futures, but it takes time.
Your aesthetic sense is very powerful. Your shots are very powerful, and we have learned that you work without scripts. So how challenging is it as a director for you?
For film, it's really about form and substance, and normally is you for a work of a filmmaker is to find the right form to deliver the right substance, or vice versa. And so sometimes I'm not very interested to tell the story to make it beautiful for the beautiful sake. And I think beauty is something that is right and consistent with the story that you want to tell.
Let's talk about the Grandmaster. You had always focused to make it more authentic, and I'm sure that it was very challenging for you. Would you like to share some experiences while you were shooting the Grandmaster?
I grew up on an area, on the streets full of martial arts school, and when I was a child, martial art genre, films, stories, radio programs were very popular. So I always want to make a film about Chinese martial art, but I need to find, because it's very challenging, and I always want to find a right angle to tell a story about Chinese martial art, because most of the Kung Fu film, because it's one of the most popular genres that of Chinese cinema. And a lot of films has been made about for this genre, but most of the time they are talking about heroes, good fighters, revenge. But there's so many things that we have missed through Grandmaster. I want to say something about one of the golden period of the recent development of Chinese martial art development.
So another thing is, technology has become a very integral part of filmmaking nowadays. Sometimes we see, technology is overshadowing the content part of it. What is your take on that?
In my case, the Grandmaster, we shot with 35 millimeters, and so the whole film was basically, you can see it as almost the last few films that made with film stocks, without digitals, in these regions. But the thing is, I think, of course, it's very emotional to say goodbye to the traditional filmmakers, to say goodbye to all these cameras, film stocks. But I don't against technologies, because technologies for me is just a tool for artists or filmmakers to express themselves.
How is Bollywood received in China? How is the excitement?
We don't see a lot of general release of Bollywood films in China, but surprisingly, there's a big following in China, and in Hong Kong, which there will be special screenings organized once there's a big Bollywood films arrive, and it's always packed. And I think this is kind of a signature of Indian cinemas, even though it's not entirely Indian cinema, but I think this is something that really known to people and popular among the world.
Thanks for talking to DD News.
Thank you.
With camera person Anand Kumar, this is Chandrasekhar Gwadi, DD News, Goa.